Level up your listening.
Promotional considerations provided by Green Ronin Publishing. Use code PL4 at checkout on the Green Ronin online store or use the link in the episode description to get 5% off your order. And join us on Patreon for exclusive bonus content like the Origin Stories miniseries, the Downtime Talkback Show, and more. Previously on It Takes One to Hunt One. After a harsh reunion with her former FBI partner, arcade agent Bronwyn Bedivere reluctantly opened up to her teammates Victor Valentine and Sandra O'Hara about her past and the tragedy which changed her life forever. The team then set about preparing for their visit to Joy's, a local hotspot for stormers, popular nightclub, and source of information for those who know how to ask. After a stop at the tailor for some evening wear, a few errands, and an impromptu meeting with independent journalist Patricia Wynn about recent gang activity, the team headed to Joy's, where they met Joy herself. While their reception was initially frosty, Victor and Sandra's charm, aided by persuasive arguments from Bronwyn, endeared them to Joy, who agreed to an exchange of information in return for a future favor of her choosing. She informed the agents that one of the few places in Emerald City that someone like the Embalmer could lay low without being noticed would be Madame Macabre's Mausolée Musicale, the gothic and horror-themed nightclub recently opened by the former late-night TV personality Madame Macabre. Armed with a new lead to follow, the team bid goodnight to Joy and decided it was time for a bit of club hopping. And now, the story continues. The exterior of Madame Macabre's Mausolée Musicale doesn't look like much. It's a small building with ornate architecture that looks to have been constructed primarily from white granite, with a wrought iron gate stretching across its main entrance. Considering the rather large and old cemetery beside the building, one could be forgiven for thinking that it was an ostentatious but nonetheless normal and peaceful place in which one could expectedly find the resting dead. Well, except for all the HVAC equipment and vents coming up out of the ground nearby, some of which are expelling vapors that smell of kitchen smoke, and the barely perceptible rhythmic thumping of bass reverberating up from the ground, and the line of people in dark clothing stretching out from the main entrance with a man checking IDs at the front of it, and the 30-foot neon sign reading Madame Macabre's Mausolée Musicale in bright colors complete with different parts that flash on and off to create the illusion of dancing skeletons. Besides all that, it looks like a perfectly normal entrance to a family tomb.
So she definitely bribed city officials to get this approved. Bronwyn just called AD Vance to let her know that we are likely to apprehend the Embalmer and may have him in custody soon.
Good work, Bedivere. Don't worry too hard about doing a favor for Madame Joy. If all things go according to plan, by the time she would want to call it in, she will have forgotten your existence. As for the Embalmer, he is a little bit outside of our wheelhouse, so if you do fully apprehend and arrest him, pump him for what information you can, and then see about handing him over to the normal FBI or Aegis or whoever.
If things go south, I'll definitely, we may be apprehending more than just him, so we may have to call in the Reg Bureau after this to take charge of the extras.
Just be careful about getting caught on any recordings. We don't want anyone looking into the three of you too closely.
Noted. I'll call with an update once this is over.
Affirmative. Vance out.
All right, so priorities: avoid civilian casualties, restrain the Embalmer if necessary, keep an eye out for anything magical appearing, because for all we know, the Blood Brothers have gotten their hands on some of these artifacts. Anyone besides the Embalmer will probably just turn over to Aegis or Reg Bureau, so we all need to make sure we bring in some restraints of some kind.
Who has them? Because you two are in evening gowns.
They're in the trunk.
Okay.
Yeah, we pulled up in my car. My car has stuff in it.
Fair enough.
Bronwyn is going to go to the trunk, and she's going to first pull out a large jacket that has one of those little Velcro things at the back that you pull down and says FBI.
Okay.
She also is going to take out an FBI badge on a chain that is going down the front of her dress right now.
Okay.
She's prepared to go undercover, but she's also ready to look official if she has to.
Give me a deception check.
15.
Nice, okay. You kind of take a look at all of the people in line that are waiting to get into this place, and it's like, a jacket over an evening dress isn't gonna look too weird.
She also puts on a large pair of dark glasses. Is gonna look at the other two. You guys have anything you need to grab?
No, I don't think I need anything.
All right, we get in line.
As you make your way through the wrought iron gate into what is essentially like the exterior part of this place, you see that there's just like a series of elevators and some staircases to either side that look to be going up and down into the place. So you get in an elevator, take it down. You walk out into an enormous chamber, which looks to have been carved from the same white granite which was used to construct the entrance. In its center in front of you is a large dance floor with dozens of people dancing on its lit, multicolored panels. On the far side of it from the entrance is a stage with a live band, and the best way to describe what they're playing would be grunge you can dance to? There are a few tables scattered around the dance floor with people chatting, eating, and drinking, and off to one side is a bar with doors on either side that look to lead back to a small kitchen. As you look around, you realize you're on the bottommost floor of what is an even bigger space than you thought. There are multiple sets of stairs around the perimeter that lead up to the other floors and balconies arranged in concentric tiers, like this entire place is an inverted ziggurat or step pyramid. The next floor up looks to be partially reserved for VIPs, with a few isolated rooms and balconies looking out into the space. The third and highest floor looks largely reserved for staff, with a sound booth, a security station, and what looks to maybe be an office. The arched ceiling high above is cloaked in shadow, with support pillars reaching from the darkness down to the floors below. The vibe of this place is like if Spirit Halloween and Hot Topic circa 2003 had a child that was then raised in a haunted house. The main part of the decor is the mausoleum itself, the steps and floors having been carved from the natural granite with sarcophagi and coffins which you can only hope to be empty, littered about the edges of the occupied areas. Hanging from the shadowy ceiling are several dancer cages made to look like gibbets, with various good-looking men and women inside them moving to the beat of the music. There's even, and there's really no other way to say this, a disco skull rotating above the dance floor, casting all kinds of strange lights and shadows due to its odd shape. As for the clubgoers themselves, you're seeing goths, punks, alternatives, metalheads. If there is or was a countercultural movement that prominently featured black leather in their ensemble, there's a chance they're here. The staff looks to all be dressed as classic horror movie monsters. The bartender is wearing a cheesy vampire costume complete with high-collared cape and plastic fangs. The waitstaff are all made up like werewolves. What security guards you're seeing are zombies. And it looks like the guy in the sound booth on the third floor has green skin and bolts in his neck. Even the quote-unquote live band can probably be better described as a quote-unquote undead band. The front man is wrapped head to toe in strips of cloth, and all of the other members of the band appear to be skeletons. A stylized logo for Billy Mummy and the Skeletones is emblazoned on the front of the bass drum. So yeah, Madame Macabre's Mausolée Musicale.
Fog machines?
Yes.
Awesome.
And actually, go ahead and make me a perception check. Actually, everybody can make me a perception check if they so choose, as you're kind of walking around, milling around, and just kind of like getting the vibe of the space.
Can I roll not a 5 or 6? That would be great.
15.
10.
You know, isn't it how statistics work where you roll really badly at the beginning of the game, so you're going to roll well later?
No.
I don't think that is. I don't think
As
that's
someone
how-
who works in a casino, no.
What's that number?
6.
Oh my, I think we all rolled 6s. That is ominous.
Did you?
Yes, I rolled a 6 too.
How fitting.
I got an 18 on my perception.
Okay, so you got an 18, you got a 10, and you got
15.
15. Okay. So you guys are looking around in this space. Victor, the one thing that you managed to notice is it looks like there is a part of the second floor where smoking is allowed.
Always so far away.
The second floor isn't entirely reserved for VIPs, it is partially reserved for VIPs.
I mean, I could get up there if I wanted to either way.
Yeah. So, mostly you're picking up on side conversations and things. Some of the things that you're hearing are conversations between people about like weird happenings, rumors about strange things in the Undercity. There are some people talking about how the Ghost Stories blog is really blowing up recently. And Sandra, if you want, you can make me an Expertise Emerald City related to that.
She
I beefed
beefed
that.
it.
I beefed it. That was a 1 for a total of 9.
Okay, cool. So, Sandra, as far as you're aware or have heard, the Ghost Stories blog is written by actual ghosts.
They're my blood brothers.
Yes, they are.
Like, you've heard rumors online that the person calling themselves the Ghost is actually just like a collective moniker for some ghosts that have somehow figured out how to use the internet.
Congrats, you just stupided your way into Dog with a Blog 2.0.
As you're looking around, you're also noticing like more intricate details of the theming of this place, up to and including the menu behind the bar. It looks like basically everything on the menu, both food and drink, is a pun or reference to a old horror movie. Drinks such as Attack of the Killer Mojitos, Plan 8 Ball from Outer Space, The First Spaceship in Toronto, and you also see that there's a mirror behind the bar that you have to talk into to order a Bloody Mary.
Do you have to say it 3 times?
Yes, it says so on the menu. Yeah, you guys are looking around, and it's so hard to tell in here. Who are people that are just here to be here and be in the club, and who are here to, like, use it as a front for organized crime or as a hideout? Because 90% of the colors everyone's wearing are black, and there's enough people on purpose trying to look disaffected off in a corner that it's nearly impossible to tell who is actually trying to hide and who is trying to look like they have something to hide.
It's a club full of posers.
It's a club full of goths and weirdos and nerds. I say this as a weirdo nerd that has a lot of goth friends.
I would like to detect plant.
Okay, cool.
Yay!
Make me a perception check.
23.
You extend your senses out into this place, and you do sense some lichens and moss and other like subterranean types of plant life in here that seem to have been already present before this nightclub and have just kind of continued to allow to be here as part of the decor. Beyond that, you're also sensing all of the various vegetables and plants that are being used as part of the food and drinks here.
Yeah, I immediately thought, what is a major ingredient in Bloody Marys?
Celery!
Yeah, like, go order yourself a Bloody Mary for the celery.
Hello, my dying friend.
It's like the most grim episode of VeggieTales on the planet.
And as you extend your senses out a little further, you do sense, it's faint, but you can tell it's out there, the roots of the plants that are around the mausoleum extending down into the ground. Like there are some trees and things out there that you can just barely sense at the edges of your sphere of perception here.
Gotcha. All right, guys, I'm armed and dangerous.
I'm going to use the hide in plain sight thing, but in a different application. As to say, I wish to use stealth to move to the VIP area and seem as though I'm not amiss.
Make me a stealth check.
Look at there, you can roll higher than a 6. I'm so proud of you, buddy. That's a 24.
24? Okay. I'm gonna say random security guy dressed like a zombie standing in front of the VIP area has a +5 to perception. That's a 4. So with a total of 9, he absolutely does not see you. So Victor has found his way into the VIP area. You two are still kind of milling about on the dance floor or around it. And suddenly, all of your attention is called to the stage. As Billy Mummy says,
Everybody having a good time tonight?
and there is a somewhat enthusiastic cheer from the people that are in attendance. And then he says,
Now I want everybody to put your hands, claws, tentacles, or whatever appendages you have together for our hostess with the ghostess, Madame Macabre!
and the drummer goes, and he gestures grandly to the top of the closest staircase, and spotlights come down and focus on absolutely nothing. There's absolutely nothing at the top of the staircase. And he goes,
Well, I swear this never happens.
and then there is a poof of a swirl of darkness, smoke, and bats in an empty spot on the dance floor. And then Madame Macabre appears in the middle of the dance floor. Madame Macabre has porcelain white skin, raven black hair, not 80s big and poofy, but bigger and poofier than you would normally see in the modern age. And a corset with sleeves and a collar and strips of fabric in the front and behind, with high heels, and her eyes are a solid red with ruby red lips. She wears gold jewelry, and her clothing is like a dark velvety green exterior with like a magenta or a fuchsia interior and accents with gold lettering. She looks every bit as she did on her late night show back in the day, and she twirls her hands up in the air as she appears on the dance floor and says, "Good evening, ghouls and ghosts, and and she pounds on her sternum, and a bat flies out of her mouth and goes as it flies up into the shadowy ceiling above, and she goes, "Oh, that's embarrassing. I haven't seen Ozzy since the 90s.
Oh no.
And you see like 3 dudes in Black Sabbath t-shirts from the back go, "Too soon!" And she says, "Is everyone having a grand time tonight at our Mausolée Musical?" And it's a somewhat muted, yeah, like from the crowd. The reaction from the crowd is like, there are some people here that legitimately are having a great time, but they're so used to putting out an aura of disaffectation that they're having to overcome that to legitimately answer the question of one of their like corner pop culture idols. And then she goes, "Oh, we can do better than that." And she turns over to the guy behind the bar and she says, "Count Drinkula."
Oh.
"Yes, madame."
Oh, God.
"A round of shots on the house." And he replies, "Of course, madame." And the crowd goes, "Yeah!"
This is like the best worst thing. I feel like I'm being like... I feel like someone brought me a steak and hit me in the back of the head with a bat at the same time.
I'm out here taking psychic damage.
I would be here.
Yeah, if we had a place like this in town.
I would be here every day.
Oh, yeah.
So, you see Madame Macabre, calls for a round of shots on the house. A lot of people go to take her up on that offer, going over to the bar, and you see Count Drincula just pouring shot after shot after shot. You also see Madame Macabre is, milling about, getting autographs, taking pictures with people. She's doing the whole, I'm kind of a celebrity, come meet me if you want to. She's doing that whole thing.
Yeah.
And with this distraction going on, if you guys want, you can go ahead and make me perception checks again to see what all around here might have changed as a result.
That is only a 12 for me. Oh.
She did the thing.
Lynn rolled
makes up for her other roll.
Except for my little 1 going on to the opposite side, nat 20.
11.
Okay, so an 11 and a 12 and a natural 20 for a total result of
32.
So you two kind of managed to notice the people that really don't care. You're looking around and you're able to actually pick out some people in the crowd that look they don't look like they work here, but they look out of place enough and they look like they didn't care enough when Madame Macabre showed up that you're able to pick them out and you're like, these guys might work for the Embalmer or the Blood Brothers. The Embalmer's guys are a little bit more obvious to pick out. They're wearing suits. There's simple 2-piece black and white suits. The Blood Brothers guys, there's no other way to say it. They look like they're extras from the set of Underworld. There's not too many of them, but they are kind of scattered around the room.
What does Bronwyn know specifically about the combat capabilities of the Blood Brothers and the Embalmer and his crew?
Go ahead and give me an expertise law enforcement check.
That would be a 19.
Okay. So this is information that you would have gathered via police reports and internal files on these guys. As far as you're aware for the Embalmer's forces, he mostly just employs your typical thugs. You can expect concealed body armor, handguns, nothing too crazy. As for the Blood Brothers, that, they style themselves after vampires, but what they actually are stormers. Their main gimmick is that they're able to feed on the energy of people, not by biting them and sucking their blood like you or other vampires do, but by straight up just leeching the energy out of them upon contact with them. And by doing so, it makes them stronger.
That makes sense that they would hole up in a club then, because no one's going to notice that some random person is bumping into them and then, you're tired at the end of the night anyway.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's about all you're able to gather. As for the Embalmer himself, the Embalmer is a very intelligent but otherwise normal man. You know that from reports that he's stronger than he appears to be, and that he is a fairly capable hand-to-hand combatant. But he is a mortal man, and he mostly uses different funeral or mortician-themed gadgets, and his trademark is a trap-laden coffin.
All right.
Sandra. On a nat 20, I'm going to give you a lot here. Number 1, there's nothing in here that could have produced any kind of special effects to make it look like a swirl of darkness and a cloud of bats. That bat that flew out of her mouth, you know enough about the local bats here in Emerald City from your days studying for your natural science degree. That was a real local Emerald City species of bat. Number 2, as you're looking around in here, you're seeing a few things that at first glance you could easily chalk up to advanced animatronics or holograms or all kinds of weird different things that people with enough money can have access to make their club look like this, but that you're able to see through to see, oh no, there's something else here. The security guys don't look like zombies. They are zombies. Because as you stop to look at one, you notice he's not breathing or blinking. You also notice that the skeletones are not animatronics. Those bones look real. Billy Mummy is a dude wrapped in gauze. Like, that guy is actually just a dude wrapped in gauze. He's not a real mummy. The skeletones are skeletons, though. Pretty much everybody else in here does look like they're just people in costumes. Like, Count Drincula, you can tell from here that those fangs are plastic.
Sorry, all I can think of is Count Drincula's a double fake. He takes off his plastic fangs and there are real fangs underneath.
Oh, no.
Look out!
Yeah, I was thinking it would suck to have to wear those things all night.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you'd be drooling
I'm
constantly.
sorry. Your drink came with some extra.
You also notice there's somebody in particular that did not respond to Madame Macabre's arrival with something that looked like any amount of care. Not because he's suspicious, but he just kind of sticks out now that you're really looking around. And it's this guy that's up in one of the, like, somewhat private areas of the VIP section. He's up on, like, this balcony that's kind of overlooking the space, and he's not in a private room. He just has two enormous dudes that are just kind of blocking off where he is from everybody else. You can't really see a lot of his features from here. You just see a pair of well-polished shoes on the table at which he is sitting. How much of this, if any, do you communicate to your friends here?
So he's not in my range. He's up in the VIP area, so I slide up next to Bronwyn, lean in, and as whispery as you can be in a club, I tell her, they don't have any special effects in here. That was a real bat. The security are actually zombies. And the skeletons, part of the skeletones, those are just actually undead. And I think I know where the embalmer is. He's up in VIP.
One last thing before you guys all decide the directions that you're going to take to go do whatever it is that you're going to do. The last thing you see is Madame Macabre makes a show of walking over to the bar, saying, "Count Drincula, one Bloody Mary, please." And he goes, "Madame, you know the rules." And she goes, "Oh, of course." And she looks directly into the mirror. "I'll take a Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary." And he goes, "Here you are." And he makes a Bloody Mary complete with celery stalk into the drink and hands it to her. And she goes, "Enjoy your evening, darlings. I have to go attend to some business up in the office. But I hope you all have a wonderful time and come back to see us soon." And she walks up the stairs up to the office on the 3rd floor and shuts the door behind her.
Well,
I already looked. The range on your being able to look through plants is 60 feet.
Well.
Victor, as you're watching all this unfold and you see this conversation unfolding between Bronwyn and Sandra, looks like they're putting together some kind of plan. Someone walks by and takes the cigar straight out of your mouth and puts it in hers.
I turn to whoever this, I'm going to use the polite word here and say bold individual is.
You see a young woman, leather jacket, cut off a little bit higher into the midriff with a accompanying t-shirt, studs on the jacket, black leather pants, platform shoes, and long, like down to her tailbone, black hair with, it's cut a little bit shorter in the front with a shock of bright pink. And you can see on the side of her abdomen a intricate, colorful tattoo of like a traditional Japanese dragon.
I see.
She's not even paying full attention to you. She just kind of took your cigar, takes a couple puffs, and then she stops and almost like re-regards it, and then turns back around and looks at you and goes, this actually tastes good.
Yeah. I'd like to think so, seeing as I'm the one who picked it out.
Victor actively trying not to kill this one.
It's like,
She looks at you, like, really looks at you. And if you want to make me an insight check, you can.
oh, that's actually pretty good. 21.
There's something about her that's kind of resonating with you. You can't entirely put your finger on it until you meet her eyes. And there's a lack of concrete idea of tomorrow in those eyes that you recognize from the few times that you've seen it in the mirror. There is a profound sense of nihilism in this young woman. And she takes a couple of more puffs and goes, "You're actually kind of hot, and if this tastes good, then so do you probably. You want to find a dark corner, make out, and see what happens?"
Like, you want to go make out? I was like, you're lucky I haven't thrown you over the balcony, but please continue with this crazy statement you've said. Victor, he retrieves a silver box out of his coat jacket and opens it up and pulls another cigar out before putting it on his lips and lighting it and taking his pulls. I'm flattered, but no thank you.
She shrugs. "Your loss. Thanks for the cigar."
Tell you what, though, I think I have a friend of mine who'd very much appreciate your sense of fashion. It's gonna pull out a paper. I'm gonna write down Francois' address, because that man might be high class, but he does have an appreciation for just the vibrant aesthetics of things. He's like, when you get the moment, I think you and my friend here will have a very illuminating conversation. His name's Francois. Tell him Vic sent you.
Okay. And she tucks the note haphazardly to the point where it, like, kind of obviously crumples into a pocket. So I take your cigar, you light another one, say you don't want to make out, but tell me that I still look good and to go talk to your friend?
Yeah.
Okay. She rolls her eyes, shrugs, and says, "All right, your loss." And she walks away to go smoke the remainder of your cigar off in another corner of the VIP area. So, Sandra, you said you were up on your way up to the second floor to find a position to where you might be able to...
Listen in on that celery stick.
Yeah. And Bronwyn, what are you doing?
Bronwyn is going to get Sandra situated and then kind of be her guard dog while she's scrying.
Okay.
That's the most polite way to put what Sandra's about to do.
Does anybody inform Victor of the suspicious individual in the VIP area?
I send him a quick text. "Hey, foot up guy, way in the back. Two big old off dudes. I'm sorry, two big old guys."
Keep both of those in and censor one of them, I beg you.
Two big old guys. Probs and Balmer.
So, Victor, do you make your way over to that suspicious individual?
Vic opens his phone, sees who's it from. For a split second, just debates, just ignoring it altogether. Like, just... All right. He opens up the message link. All right, I'll go check it out. He looks around the room, trying to figure out exactly what the hell she was talking about.
Oh, it's pretty obvious. There's two enormous dudes. Like, they're kind of making a private room on what is normally just an open balcony in the VIP area.
I would like to just become insubstantial and just slip between them as
Okay.
smoke.
You
said there's fog machines everywhere.
Yeah. Like, you could go pretty unnoticed in this space. Mm-hmm. Go ahead and still make me a stealth check about it.
Sure.
+5 bonus.
Okay, so that is going to be a 32.
Okay, yeah, that'll...
Victor looks between the two guards and for a moment debates just trying to sneak past them normally or try to talk his way into the room before almost remembering that, oh yeah, I have powers for this, and just presses himself against the wall and just slowly melts into smoke that starts to mingle and cohabitate with the smoke machines in the room, pouring around the ankles of the two guards and sliding into the room.
Nice. The first and foremost, most obvious thing, this is not the embalmer.
Damn.
The man that you see before you is a tall, slim man with dark skin. Well-trimmed beard that kind of transitions into his close-cut, curly black hair, wearing an immaculately tailored suit. Black jacket and black pants, dark green button-up shirt, no tie, and resting on the table, a black top hat with a green rooster tail feather sticking up out of the band.
Any of that strike me as any kind of familiar.
Make me a raw awareness check.
19.
You don't really catch any kind of vibes off this guy at first. Like, there's something about him. But it's when he speaks to the guys that are walling him off from the rest of the VIP area that something catches in your mind. Like an old, broken clock that somehow managed to mash the teeth of its gears back together. As he says, in a deep, honeyed Jamaican accent, "Where are we at with those drinks?" And you suddenly have a flash of memory from the worst day of your life. Of a man in a top hat with a feather in the band, lit from behind so that all you can see is a silhouette by an enormous bonfire with the spirits of the dead swirling around him in a maelstrom of energy. And then you snap back to the present.
It takes Victor a moment to mentally adjust to this new information, to this influx of old information come alight again. Vic really only has one thought going through his mind. I wonder if I could kill him. Right now, just save everyone the trouble.
And we pivot from that scene to Sandra.
It's me.
Cut from this to inhabit the celery.
I have become one with the celery. I'm mostly water.
So, Bronwyn, you're kind of just going, like, full German Shepherd mode. Honestly, it looks like you're kind of guarding your friend at the club that might have had a bit too much to drink. So it really doesn't look suspicious at all. As Sandra, you kind of find a comfy spot in a booth, and you project via your connection with the plant life around you and your connection with the green. You project your senses into this celery stalk that was in the drink of Madame Macabre. You are immediately cold. I'm gonna go ahead and say that your vision is partially obstructed by the top of the glass, but you're able to hear okay past the clinking of the ice. Go ahead and make me a perception check just to make sure that you're able to get everything.
15 base for a total of 27.
Nice. So this is what you witness.
I'm a witness. I'm a celery witness until she bites into me, and I'm gonna scream.
I have no stalk and I must scream.
Oh my God. So, first of all, as far as your senses are aware or care, you are in a cold glass of tomato juice, hot sauce, and vodka, and ice, being held by Madame Macabre.
Slowly dying.
Slowly dying.
Aren't we all?
And you see her kind of lounging on a plush sofa, and you You get a bit disoriented as she goes to take a sip, and your entire world kind of tips on its axis. And then she puts the drink back down, and then she sets it on the table beside her. And you're able to get a better look at the room. The room is part business office, part like lounge almost. You can see some people that are like in the background just doing stuff. Like they look to be like working on computers or on their phones or whatever, but they don't look to be anyone of note to you. But you also see in this room the embalmer.
Oh, so I did not send him after the embalmer. Oh no.
And this other guy that you don't recognize. And he pipes up first as he says, "Was all that really necessary?" And Madame Macabre replies, "Carlyle, darling, the adoration of the masses is nectar, ambrosia, the food of the gods. Hell, depending on who you ask, that may have literally been the case." So what, you spend 5 minutes wowing the freaks and geeks and now you're feeling bright-eyed and bushy-tailed? Not all of us can literally suck the energy out of other people, Carlyle, and I can only drink so much coffee. And then you see the embalmer pipe up. "Yes, have some respect, Facinelli. If the Madame requires worship, then it is worship she shall have." Madame Macabre smiles and says, "Why, thank you, Willie." And Carlyle interrupts her. "Shut it, you toad! You had one job. One! Make the pickup, then drop it off. We should be up to our eyeballs in artifacts right now." "I did exactly as the Madame commanded. My pals and I followed her instructions to the letter." "Which means that either you and your goon squad are as stupid as you look, or Macabre's directions were as bad as the food here, because I don't see any artifacts. In fact, apparently, there have been artifacts floating around in the city for weeks, and we didn't even know about it, so what gives?" "Now wait just a minute there, Count Facula. I will not have my pals insulted by a man that requires his initiates to murder an innocent for the merest scrap of power, you parasite." "Silence!" And you see a corpse dressed as a performing stage magician, complete with tuxedo with tailcoats and a top hat and cane. "My most esteemed Madame, do you have an explanation as to Mr. Moody's failure? Or shall we do as Mr. Facinelli suggests and flay the skin from his flesh for incompetence?" "Why, you bag of bones!" "Look, it doesn't matter what happened. What matters now is that we get all the stuff back. Carlyle, Willie, where are we at?" "My brethren have been having trouble with the other gangs. On top of the Undercity getting harder to move around in safely, the topside gangs have upped their game. The Dragons are stronger, the Yakuza have a grab bag of powers all of a sudden, and I don't know what the Russians did to their guns, but they're packing a lot more punch. Word on the streets that each of them is getting boosts from out-of-towners. Sounds like some of them may have already gotten their hands on the books," interrupts the walking corpse. "Interrupt me again, Boudini, and I'll see how many pieces I have to chop you into to make sure you don't get up again." The walking corpse replies, "Try it, you miserable—" Fellas, let's stay on task here. Willie, any luck with your stuff?" "As near as I can tell, the explosion at the docks last night was indeed a result of the artifacts, and yet my pals have been hearing reports which indicate that some of the artifacts which we transported here have been seen in the city in the past several weeks, including other people competing for their possession. I theorize that the artifacts underwent some kind of magical chain reaction, which caused some kind of break in the fabric of space and time, scattering the artifacts throughout Emerald City's recent past, resulting in the confusing circumstances in which we now find ourselves." And there's like a pause as everyone in the room tries to process that. And then Facinelli, Carlyle, goes, "Could you repeat that in English? Preferably without all the wibbly-woo?" Embalmer just kind of rolls his eyes and says, So much magic in one place broke time, which is why we have splitting headaches instead of artifacts, and other people are now after them, you Luddite. What, so Macabre's instructions didn't cover not crossing the streams? How do you plan a magic heist and not include storage instructions for the loot? I had been wondering about that myself. My dear madame, perhaps now would be a good time to inform us as to the source of the information which we used to plan this endeavor. And you see Madame Macabre kind of take a second and goes, you know better than to dig into a lady's private life. When the time is right, you'll know. But, Willie, I meant the thing about, the thing that you and Morty were working on? Oh, yes. I have eyes on the professor, so we know when the exhibit will be ready. I have studied the book, and I believe it can be done. However, if more of the books can be acquired... I know, Morty, I know. It's about this time, as Sandra's getting all this information in, Bronwyn, you're standing guard, and Victor, you're looking off of the balcony. You're able to see back into the other part of the VIP area where you were previously.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that young woman smoke that cigar back all the way down to the stub, and then just kind of flick it off of the balcony without a care in the world. And then she hops up to sit on the railing of the balcony, and with an impish grin, she falls backwards from the railing like a diver from a boat. She flips over on the way down, landing in a roll and coming up on her feet with a hop that she translates into a body check to knock Billy Mummy completely off the stage. And there's a silent moment as the crowd kind of sees that, but then some of them let up a cheer thinking that it's all part of the show. She laughs, turns to the Skeletones, and says, "Keep up," before turning to the microphone and facing the crowd. She raises her right hand in a fist and practically screams into the mic,
Who's ready for Apocalypse Set to play some real music?
As the crowd erupts in a roar, a swirl of fire shimmers around her, resolving into a black and red electric guitar complete with leather shoulder strap. A shining black pick is suddenly gripped in her right hand, and she brings it down to strum a low, mighty power chord that drowns out all other sound in the room as fog from no visible machine begins to roll over the stage. Victor, as you look at this bizarre young woman make that sound using a guitar that is not connected to an amp, an otherwise innocuous exchange from the most important conversation of your life springs to the forefront of your memory.
I don't suppose you're here to make me a better guitar player, are you?
No. There's already someone in this city with that shtick.
Beautiful.
As the woman on stage begins to play heavy metal riffs, an enormous form begins to emerge from the roiling mist on the stage. It stands 15 feet tall, built of solid muscle beneath burning red skin and fur, and wears little more than covers its modesty. Its face is grotesque, twisted with hatred and malice, with enormous tusks, horns, and glowing yellow eyes. It carries a metal-studded wooden club, a kanabo, over 7 feet long in its left hand. An oni, ancient and mighty monstrosity of Japanese myth, suddenly stands on the stage having emerged from the mist. And it is then joined by 3 more just like it. The crowd's screams of excitement begin to give way to cries of terror, just as the guitarist's wicked riffs crescendo into a fever pitch. One of the Oni takes a lumbering step forward off the stage, bringing its kanabo thundering down onto one of the zombie security guards, which erupts into a grisly burst of viscera and gore, painting everything and everyone within 5 feet a putrid reddish brown. And as the screaming starts, the woman laughs, then leans into the mic, her smile positively wolfish, her eyes maniacally wide and blazing with hellfire, and she growls,
Bring me the book.
So roll initiative.
yeah, roll initiative.
13.
9.
18.
All right, so this is going to be a hybrid skill sequence / combat encounter. There are minions aplenty in this place. Is it possible for you to fight all of the bad guys in this place? Yes. Are a whole ton of people going to die in the crossfire if you don't help them? Also, yes. Directly engaging the villains is an option.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily one you want to take.
No, of course not.
So you're going to need to get 4 degrees of success before 2 failures each round in order to ensure that all the civilians make it out of there safely. It will take 4 rounds for all of the civilians to get out of here safely. The base DC is 15 for all checks you make in regards to helping rescue or get the civilians out of here safely. At the end of each round, I'm going to make a roll on behalf of each group of people, like what faction they're assigned to. And depending on the results of that roll, that is how well they did and how many dudes they lose at the end of that round. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, several things kind of occur at once as everyone begins reacting. Sandra, with your senses still projected into that celery stalk in the office, you hear the corpse magician, and he goes, "We have a problem." Madame Macabre goes, "A problem we stay and fix, or a problem we leave and fix later?" A power cord reverberates, shaking dust off of the windows in the office. "Leave now, fix later. All right, everybody come here." And Embalmer goes, "Wait, what about everyone inside?" Carlisle goes, "Who cares? Come on!" And then you see Embalmer take a radio out from his jacket pocket and says, "To all my pals inside of Madame Macabre's Mausoleum Musicale, get the civilians out of here safely as best you can." And then he turns and goes to follow Madame Macabre.
I didn't, gotta respect to the embalmer on that.
Something you might know about the Embalmer based off of your checks about him, he's all about the rituals and the fascination of death. He abhors murder as anything but a last resort. The unnatural ending of a life is something that he feels is terrible. Victor, the man that you saw looks up and casually but with haste swings his feet off the table, collects his top hat, puts it on his head, and goes, "Too much fighting on the dance floor." And then he turns to his big dudes and says, "Time to go. Help anyone you can on the way out, but don't slow down to do it." And with that, at the top of initiative is Apocalypset. These Oni lumber out into the crowd and just kind of start indiscriminately going at people. And you see Apocalypset laughs. She goes,
Yes!
and she strums that guitar, and you see this wave of sound that reverberates outward, striking another one of the zombie security guards, and straight up disintegrates. Just and he's gone into fine particulates of red-brown mist. And then she starts making her way up to the office. Sandra, it's your turn.
Okay. I use plant movement and growth to increase the size of the celery stalk I'm currently inhabiting and give it arms and legs.
It would be very disconcerting if I set down my Bloody Mary and my celery emerged like Cro-Magnon Man from the mug.
Okay. I would like you to please tell me what you're trying to accomplish here.
Well, clearly they have something in this office. And I want the something.
You want the something.
Yes.
You want whatever artifact they may have in this office.
Yes.
And you have no idea what that is.
No.
Okay, so how do you move your celery? And depending on what you say, I will give you some kind of bonus on your perception check.
All right, so I move its leafy top to hinge on the glass and pull itself up from the glass a little so it has a better vantage to look around the room.
Cool, I'll give you a +2 bonus on a perception check now that you're not half drowning in a Bloody Mary.
29.
On a 29, you see that corpse magician kind of instinctively reach for an interior pocket in his jacket.
So, upon seeing this, I re-inhabit my body. And I look up at Bronwyn and I go, okay, so the celery showed me. That Madame Macabre, the Embalmer, some guy named Carlisle, and they called him Boudini. It's this weird corpse man dressed up as a stage magician.
I'm just gonna say, meanwhile, people are screaming and running for cover as you slowly try to tell me this.
I look at Bronwyn, and after the spiel, Boudini has a book that's probably important. Get me to the ground floor, and I can make a vine wall.
All right.
Okay, so what needs to happen here is between the two of you, because her turn has been spent, Bronwyn and Victor, you need to come up with 4 degrees of success on some kinds of checks to help make sure that these people get out of here safely.
Embalmer dudes are good. They're helping.
Victor's next.
Victor, unaware of who's helping, who's not, and what the hell's going on, and having a close run-in with someone who he has a visceral reaction towards, both of fear and hatred. Victor's gonna move to the main floor. There are goons about, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'll use,
I'm gonna go ahead and say, taking out goons is not the same thing as getting successes to get people out of here safely.
The main issue is the Onis, correct?
Well, there's Onis, and there's zombies, and there's Embalmer's dudes, and there's Blood Brothers.
Right, but like the ones causing the chaos.
The ones causing the chaos mostly are the Onis, and it looks like the fighting of the Onis by the other dudes is going to be fairly indiscriminate.
Victor is going to coalesce using all smoke and mirrors to bounce from the ambient smoke on the second floor to from the smoke around the Onis.
Okay.
So he's going to teleport that way. Basically stepping out of the smoke and reforming from the legs up.
Okay.
In front of the Onis. Now, I'm not sure if you all speak English, but I've got some things to work through. It means the 4 of you are about to have a prolonged conversation. Along with Victor cast a gaze across the room, of, like pointedly landing on a lot of the goons. A lot of you as well. I'm gonna try to use persuasion to get them to focus on me.
Okay. Make me a persuasion check, and we'll just see how it works.
There's a 15 on the nose.
A 15 on the dot is 1 success.
Do I want to hear a point just to see?
Yeah, that's a you
Do
question.
you? That's you.
I will go ahead and spend the hero point in the hopes that perhaps with a better roll, I could get more things' attention.
Go for it.
So that is a 15 plus 8, which is 23.
23. Okay, so that's 2 degrees of success towards getting people out of here safely for this round.
Yes.
And I'm going to go ahead and say on a 23, I'm going to say you draw aggro from like a couple of the Oni, but not all 4 of them.
Okay.
And you get a decent chunk of the Blood Brothers. The zombies don't seem to be paying you a whole ton of attention. The zombie security guards don't seem to have any kind of independence or thought of their own.
Right.
Bronwyn, it's your turn.
So what Bronwyn is going to do is she's going to yank out her FBI badge from the front of her dress and flip down the little Velcro thing in the back, so it reads FBI. But she's going to use the perception as the main thing, because she's going to look around and see, is there an extra door? You know, can they go out through like the workers' entrance? Who is like stuck in place and needs to be shepherded out?
Okay, go ahead.
But she's also identifying herself as
a figure of authority to be followed.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can go ahead and make me a perception check to like identify those ways out of here.
I'm going to use a hero point on that.
You're gonna use a hero point.
I just rolled a natural one.
Yeah, that's
That's
rough, buddy.
Oh my
worth
gosh.
a hero point.
Okay, so that's a 17, so that's a total of 26.
26, 3 degrees of success. Very good, very good. So you're able to point out the fire exits to people, and you're also pointing out that there's probably another one in the back of the kitchen, where they probably have like another elevator through which they receive goods and supplies and through which they moved the stuff into the kitchen in the first place.
Yeah, so Bronwyn is shouting and grabbing people if she needs to and like pushing them in the physical direction.
Nice. All right, so that's 5 degrees of success for this round. The civilians are safe for now.
And we've already lost a couple hero points.
And I will go ahead and roll to see how all of our various groups of goons are doing. Actually, wait, no. I'm sorry. You guys see, at the end of the round, a bright flash of light through the windows of the office on the 3rd floor, and all of the zombies drop like sacks of potatoes.
Oh, madam.
The thing puppeting them is no longer here.
Yeah.
So that still leaves the Oni, the Blood Brothers, and the Embalmer's pals. No Oni lost. And that's 16 for the Blood Brothers. No losses on their end. And what did the Embalmer's pals get?
9.
9?
Oof.
1 pal down.
He'll be remembered.
I mean, he's not dead, probably.
Probably.
It's an Oni. It killed him.
He caught, like, the Oni smacked a zombie into him.
Ah.
So he's on the ground just like, ugh. All right, back up to the top of the round. Apocalypsette sees that flash of light, goes, ugh, and runs up and blasts a hole in the side of the office with her guitar. Just, and the sound energy reverberates outward and just blows a hole in the side of the wall. And you see that there is no one in that upstairs office anymore.
This is the problem with announcing your entrance so loudly.
Sandra, that's you.
Okay.
Victor on deck.
I'm going to use Tangle Vines using the moss and the lichen that were cultivated in this area to wrap around the legs of the Oni.
Go ahead and make me a check using the rank of your Tangle Vine ability.
How about
That's a 6.
I'm gonna hero point. My turn to hero point.
All right, I think you are all now fresh out of hero points.
And I was like, I'm hoping we don't have another prolonged combat after this. It's a 10.
Hey, if it's 10 or below, you add 10 to it with a hero point. So that's a 20.
It's a 20.
Yay!
So 25.
25? With a 25, that's 3 degrees of success. As you all see the lichen and the moss spring up from the natural stone from which this place was carved and just wrap around these Oni and restrict their movement as they grunt, just unable to move forward and continue their assault. Victor's next.
If you want to go for something, I have a really good idea.
Call that out.
All right, Bronwyn is going to look over at Victor and point up to the office and say, Victor, do something about her.
All right. He strains his neck a bit and turns his head to face the office. I'm just going to fly over there. I'm going to land in the doorway with Apocalypse at. And is she facing in the room?
Yeah.
You really know how to complicate someone's night. You know that?
She, already in a state of, like, pique and anger, just goes, oh, piss off. You're the one that missed out.
That's not even what I was getting at. You very much just interrupted something that I did not know was so important until just a minute ago. Now, normally, I'm a bit more gathered than I am right now, I'll be honest. What was so damn important that you let something slip through my fingers like that?
You know what, Southbound? That sounds like it's none of your f***ing business.
Unfortunately, it very much is, seeing as you made it. And, Victor takes the cigar, puts it to his lip, takes a long pull, and gently pushes out a smoke ring, which is very rapidly blown forth with great force until it circles her head and blows past her. Do me a favor, have her make a will save. DC 19.
29.
Lame.
You see her kind of shake her head, sending her hair in a cascade downwards. And she goes, ugh.
That's all.
Okay.
That is my whole ass turn. That was a move and a standard action.
Okay. Bronwyn.
So Bronwyn suddenly realized Apocalypse told them to get the book. Well, in her bag that she had at Joy's, she was literally reading a geology textbook.
Oh my god.
So, she is going to pull out the geology textbook, which she finished, by the way, in the 15 minutes that she was waiting. So, she's finished with it anyway.
Hilarious.
And she is going to hold up the textbook and scream, I've got the book! Come get me, jerks! And then she's going to proceed to yakety sax her way around while out of the way of civilians as they try to chase her.
Okay. This is an extremely clever idea. Using things that you have already established to have had on your person in a previous episode. So I really want to reward this, but you're gonna have to roll for it. It's gonna be a deception check. I'm gonna say you're gonna get a +5 bonus on this.
Come on. So I got a total of 19.
With a 19, you see all of the Oni turn and focus on you and the book in your hand.
Yay!
Great, you got all of their attention. Now what are you going to do with it?
So that is a total of, I believe, 5 successes across the board for everybody in this round. So civilians are safe, civilians are evacuated. You've got 2 more rounds left until the civilians are 100% gone.
Bronwyn's going to start climbing the walls so that they're going to be coming over towards her away from where the civilians are.
Okay.
So she's specifically going to try to lead them away from people.
Okay. So now, bottom of the round, gonna roll to see how everybody's doing. Okay. That's 1 Oni down. These guys are tough.
The Pal's got a nat 20.
Yay for pals.
Pals!
And the Blood Brothers got an 8?
That is an even number below 10, so they lose 2 of the, like, lower tier guys.
Okay, cool.
So you see these 2 blood brothers, these guys that are wearing, like, mostly black leather, and one's got, like, just a regular leather jacket, the other guy's got a trench coat, and they just go after the Oni with their bare hands, and you can see that they have this enhanced strength, even for being, like, bottom tier blood brothers. And they run up and they just start pounding on the Oni. The Oni swings his Kanabo down and like gets one of them like square in the torso, sending him flying back. He impacts a wall with a and he's out like a light. And the other one, the Oni like manages to grab like one hand wrapped around like most of his torso and just kind of slams him into the ground at his feet. And you see that the Blood Brothers have damaged it enough that like a small group of pals kind of forms a pistol phalanx, and they just unload into the Oni, and they put enough rounds into it to make it stagger and fall to its knees and then fall over. Almost on top of this Blood Brother, almost like crushing him to death, but he manages to get knocked out of the way by the Oni's fall. It looks like the Embalmers guys, the pals, aren't even really concerned with the well-being of the Blood Brothers. It looks like they were mostly focused on taking down the Oni, and it looks like there's no love lost between these 2 different factions of henchmen. Victor. Apocalypse is staring daggers at you. You just being in her way and giving her attitude is making her irrationally angry. You see her actively making the choice of whether or not to try and straight up vaporize you. And what she settles on is, I need to leave, but this guy. And she... And the sound waves push her backwards towards one of the exits. She lands and she starts making her way outside. You are flung backwards further into this office, but because of you being you, instead of making hard impact with the stone wall, you fly backwards, hit it, and poof. But it is worthy of note that her sound waves did move you in the first place.
Yeah.
So that is Apocalypsette's turn. Sandra.
I see her escaping through the upstairs escape route with the rest of the civilians. And I reach out through the plants and I cause them to move and spring up and wrap around her legs.
Okay. What DC check does she need to make and what?
It's resisted by dodge and the DC is 15.
You feel this root snag on her boot, and she swings the guitar down like an axe, breaking the root off, and keeps running.
Okay. I would like to use extra effort.
Okay.
To give myself another standard action. I'm going to use Internal Flora. Resisted by Fortitude, DC 14. I want to make her puke her guts up.
Makes it.
Damn it.
She got a 28 on that check.
Ugh. Whoa.
So in short order, Apocalypsette flew across the room, landed, turned, started like bum rushing her way through these civilians to try and get to the exit, is almost tripped up by a root, which she smashes with her guitar, and then feels a little in her stomach and goes, ugh, and just keeps running.
Well, I tried.
Victor. You guys are currently at 0 levels of success for escorting civilians out safely.
Victor is going to use Great Tentacles to start moving rubble and other things out of the way to make sure there are clear exits and making sure there's nothing impeding movement and keeping things moving.
Okay. So go ahead and make me a check using your Great Tentacles rank.
Is that a 7?
Yes.
So 13, fail.
All right, 1 degree of failure. 0 degrees of success. You could extra effort to get another standard action to try again straight up.
Yeah, I'll do that. 18.
Murdoc, what does it look like when Victor fails and then succeeds in his objective to try and clear this rubble out of the way.
Victor is distracted at best at the moment. Watching this twerp take off into the wild blue yonder after screwing something that I was not aware was so monumental in the moment up. He has to take a moment to center himself and remember what he's actually trying to do right now, which is, make sure people don't get crushed. So, pushing his hand out and extending it into a long trailing, almost vine of smoke, he goes to move something, and he's just, that lack of focus is getting him, and it slips and slips and slips. He can't get it until you see that smoke just almost entirely encase the base of this object, whatever it is. So it just fully encapsulates it. And meticulously slowly, not strained, but that kind of movement you do when you're really trying not to throw something. Just sets it down. Pulls his arm back to place.
Okay. Bronwyn, that's you. Currently at 1 degree of success, 1 degree of failure.
Bronwyn is going to start by taking the book, and she's going to...
How much do you think that book weighs?
Well, it's a
Pound and a half?
Okay, think about a geology text, a college textbook.
Oh, okay, so that's probably at least like
3 pounds?
Yeah.
The way the throwing distance works is it's your strength rank minus the thing's mass rank. Mm-hmm. So you can throw a thing that is 3 pounds, 9 ranks worth of distance, which is 2 miles.
So, she's gonna take this textbook, and she's going to yell at the Onis, "Go and get it, boys!" And she is going to chunk the book up through, like, whatever door she can see up there.
Okay. So, this isn't a check, this is just a thing you can do.
Yeah.
So you... And, like, there's almost a sonic boom to you throwing this book as you see it sail up into that office. If you want to make this another deception check against the Oni to try and, like, keep them distracted as they try to, like, break themselves free of these vines and make their way up there, then we can go ahead and call this another deception check.
That's 15. So we're at, that makes it 2 successes?
So yeah, with a DC 15, you're at 2 successes, 1 failure.
Okay.
If you're wanting to get to that 4 degrees of success, you can either take another standard action and make another check and hopefully get a 20 on that check, or you can go ahead and tell me now, since you have the interpose advantage, that you want to take a hit for a civilian that would normally, like, hit them.
Yes.
Okay. So in that case, what we see happen here is, Bronwyn, you take that book and you chunk it up into the office as some of these Oni start to break free from these tangle vines, and they start to, you tell me, what does it look like?
So these giant creatures are just stepping and waiting, and one of them's about to step on someone. So Bronwyn kind of launches herself off from the wall and jump rolls and grabs the person and gets her leg stepped on as she's rolling out of the way.
I'm going to need a DC 20 toughness check from you to take no damage.
That's a total of 16.
16? You feel that immense pressure come down on your leg. You're able to get it out of the way before anything gets, like, broken or strained or anything, but you feel that pain. And it's been a minute since you felt significant pain. All right, that's 4 degrees of success before 2 failures, so that amount of civilians get out of here. That's the 3rd round. So we're gonna roll for the Oni, the Pals, and the Blood Brothers. All right, no Pals, another Oni down, no losses from the Blood Brothers. So at this point, like, the herd has already thinned a little bit, and you see that the Pals are mostly concerning themselves with getting the civilians out of here. In fact, you'd wager that if it weren't for them doing that, you would be having a harder time of accomplishing it yourself. The Blood Brothers, end up ganging up on one of these Oni that is still kind of tangled up in the vines, and they just dogpile on it and bring it to the ground with their enhanced strength and their energy powers. Top of the 4th round, Apocalypsette just uses her whole turn to get out of here. She rushes past all the people that are trying to make their way through the exits and just shoves whoever she needs to out of the way. She's up the stairs. She's out of line of sight. Sandra, that's you.
I'm tangle-vining these boys again.
Hiya. So 16.
16, 1 degree of success. So as these Oni start rushing after the book that Bronwyn threw up into the office, they once again find themselves tangled with these vines, and they are, you can only assume, to be cursing in some kind of ancient demonic language with twinges of proto-Japanese in there. Victor, that's you.
Victor, having noticed the pals, mostly, ushering people to safety, doing us a favor, he's going to turn his attention fully to the Blood Brothers. I think it's time we all had a little chat. There's something going on here, and you're gonna tell me, and I'm gonna beat the shit out of all of you. You understand me?
Don't you mean or?
I don't. No. I'm trying to gather their attention.
This sounds like an intimidate use.
Sure. 18.
Nice. So that's another degree of success. So you guys are at 2 degrees of successes, 0 failures, as all of the Blood Brothers aren't necessarily cowed as much as they are aggroed.
That's what I wanted.
Okay. Bronwyn, that's you.
She's going to work on trying to get the hopefully last stragglers out.
So you're like looking for people that you need to get out of here.
I'm like, okay, we're getting this part wrapped up. Let's get the last people, and why are you hiding under a table?
So
get out!
You go! Okay, so yeah, make me a perception check to look for stragglers.
That is 21.
21, 2 degrees of success.
Hell yeah.
So that's all 4 degrees of success, with Sandra slowing down the Oni and Victor grabbing the attention of the Blood Brothers. Bronwyn, you're able to find the last of the stragglers in here with your enhanced hearing and your infravision, and you're able to get them up and out the door to safety. All of the civilians are now out. They are safe. The only living creatures left in this atrium are the 3 of you, 7 of the Embalmer's pals, 4 Blood Brothers, and the final remaining Oni. And the latter of which just swung its Kanabo down into the earth, shattering it and the vines that was entangling it. And seeing that Bronwyn had been distracting it or interrupting it and its comrades, it just brings that 7-foot club down in a swing at Bronwyn. That actually hits. So go ahead and roll me a toughness check.
All right. 14.
14.
Dang it! This is supposed to be my time to be cool.
That leaves you staggered and now at a cumulative -4 penalty to all future toughness checks.
Okay.
All right, Sandra.
I want to use Pollen Cloud, but I don't want to hit Victor and Bronwyn, so I'm going to hold my action to let them get out of the way.
Okay.
Which means Sandra's going to call out to Victor and Bronwyn and say, do what you need to do and then move.
Understood.
And then I'm holding my action.
All right, Victor. You see a couple of the Blood Brothers that you taunted pull guns and fire at you.
Oh no. Done.
Whatever will I do?
And their bullets pass directly through you, breaking upon the white granite wall behind you as the color drains from their faces.
Boys.
Do
Do you know what happens when you pressurize a gas? Puts the cigar to his lips. Is it my turn?
Yes.
Then I'm going to use my teleport to go behind one of the bigger ones and use hand cannon and slam that at close range into his back.
Cool, go for it.
16. That was a bad roll. That sucks.
16 hits.
Cool. Then,
Thugs.
They're thugs, bro.
oh, cool. In which case,
I mean, they're juiced up thugs, but they're thugs.
that is a DC 24 toughness check.
Cool.
Is it even possible for him to make that DC?
Yes.
Does he need a nat 20 for it?
No.
Does he? Oh, okay.
6. Victor's arm, down to his elbow, dissolves into a mass, and it begins to coalesce and build and build and build and compress at his elbow. The tip of what was his hand, it flattens to a point of about the size of a ball-peen hammer. I'm going to give you a very quick lesson in how pressure works. With a cacophonous roar of air, this air cannon of smoke slams into this man's back, dispersing gas like steam vents breaking off of his back in all kinds of directions as he just falls over. Victor, still very clearly working through something, turns and locks eyes with the next one before fading away. I'm going to teleport behind him and hit him in the back.
That's just mean.
Yeah. 21.
Hits.
Cool. He nat 20'd.
He's alive!
Oh my god.
Yeah, that worked.
God, how do I narrate that? So what this guy saw you do to his buddy, his superior in the Blood Brothers, you disappear, and this guy, he's new, I guess, but like, maybe he has potential, because he whirls around and puts his arms up, thinking that you've now just gone behind him. And with the enhanced toughness that he has gotten as a member of the Blood Brothers, he is able to withstand the pressure that you blast at him. And he staggers on his feet and he has to take a couple steps back, but he does stay on his feet.
Look at you. You took one. Don't worry. I'll be back in a minute. And he just fades, dissolves into the smoke of the room, and following Sandra's instructions is going to position himself seated, hands crossed, on the top of the stairs, squeezing his hands together rather tightly.
All right, Bronwyn.
So Bronwyn just got sent flying by that.
She got her bell rung, yeah.
Her sunglasses have gone flying. Her hair is falling out of her braid. She's lost her heels. She's feeling thirsty. And she's going to use extra effort to move towards the closest living combatant.
There's one Blood Brother left.
Yeah. There is a little bit of a fury in her as well that these guys are...
Playing pretend at the worst thing that ever happened to her?
Yeah, it's like I am going to show you what it feels like for an actual vamp to come for you.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
She's trying to put the fear of, not the fear of God, but the fear of Bronwyn in them. So she's glaring at him, and because she isn't wearing her sunglasses anymore, he can see that her right eye is glowing a blood red as she is preparing to pounce on him.
You see him straight up scream, "Shit, it's one of the real ones!"
Bronwyn is going to lick her lips and go for him.
Go for it.
21?
21 to hit?
Yeah.
Absolutely hits.
It's a DC 20.
That's a 2. So, you just go ahead and narrate for me what this looks like as it happens.
So, Bronwyn is going to run towards him. She's going to curl her hand into a fist and get him right in the stomach. She's going to wrap her other arm around him, and her teeth are going to extend into fangs, and she sinks them into his neck.
You sink your teeth into this guy's neck. As much of you is disgusted by the fact that you subsist the way that the monsters that made you this way do as well, the rest of you knows that this feels good and you need it.
It's been too long.
He drops.
So it's just Pals and the Oni now.
Okay, I'm going to go after the Oni.
Okay.
Revenge.
Yes. She is going to turn with the blood dripping down her chin. That's a 20.
20 hits.
Yes.
Gonna roll toughness for the Oni. 20.
Dang it.
So, what does it look like as you fail to damage the Oni?
Well, she is going to try to punch him, and I imagine this big guy, there's a little bit of a ripple around where she got him. She's gonna kind of look up, and then she's gonna just keep on running.
Yeah, he looks down at you, and you look up at him, and he just opens his mouth as mist rolls forth between his fangs and tusks and goes...
And Bronwyn keeps on running.
Nope. All right, so now
It's my
it is
turn.
Sandra's turn since she delayed her turn.
Sandra runs up into the middle of as many people as she can possibly get in a 15-foot radius. As she's moving, the seeds she keeps on her begin to grow, coating her skin in a thick, sturdy bark as a form of armor to protect her as it crawls across her skin as it grows.
Sweet.
When she arrives at the point she thinks she can get the most people, I unleash a pollen cloud into the air.
I'm gonna say you can catch 2 Pals and the Oni in it.
So that is their roll, resisted by Fortitude DC 19.
Okay, so DC 19 Fortitude. All right, I'm just gonna roll 1 check on behalf of the 2 Pals. Pals fail by 2 degrees.
So they're incapacitated.
And the Oni...
He's probably not going to drop. He'd probably have to get like a single-digit roll.
On a 12 or lower, the Oni fails.
A 10!
10!
Yay!
The Oni has fallen!
So, Sandra runs out into the middle of the room, coating herself with bark as she goes, and what does it look like? Is it just a big yellow poof?
Kind of. I'm going to flavor it as from the bark, little blooms begin to form, and out of those blooms comes out the pollen that would naturally emerge from these flowers, but a little modified for some extra oomph, like running through a field of poppies, putting people to sleep.
I love that.
I am imagining it poofing out just like your Sandra's hair.
That's funny. That's a really funny parallel.
So here's the fun thing about the guys that are left here.
Yeah.
The only person they can possibly hurt is Sandra. Because you have enough impervious toughness to be able to shrug off small arms fire, and you can't get shot by conventional bullets.
Yep.
So, of the 5 that remain, 3 shoot at Bronwyn.
I am the terrifying woman with blood dripping down my throat who seemed very happy about it.
3 shoot at Bronwyn, 2 shoot at Victor, and 1 shoots at Sandra. So, these 5 remaining pals shoot at you guys. The bullets pass harmlessly through Victor, visibly bounce off of Bronwyn's skin, leaving no marks beyond scorch marks, And the fifth guy straight up just whiffs Sandra. It's you guys' turn.
Bronwyn is going to hold up the badge and say, unless you want what they got, down on the ground.
Give me an Intimidate with a +5 bonus because you're covered in their blood frothing from your mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a 27.
Yeah, they all immediately drop their guns and go to their knees, hands behind their head. They know the procedure, and this is the scariest FBI agent they've ever seen, and they're from Freedom City.
They have to deal with Aegis.
Bronwyn starts pulling handcuffs out of her jacket. And then she's gonna look at Sandra and say, I think we're gonna need more handcuffs.
Oh, don't worry. I already have a thought for that. I head down. Are we out of initiative order?
You're out of initiative order, yeah.
I head down to the dance floor, clear it out a little bit, and then bloop bloop, summon Julia onto the dance floor.
With a swirl of void and darkness, your car appears in the middle of the dance floor. And you pop the trunk, and everything to take these guys into custody is already there.
Victor is going to use Great Tentacles to grab one of the pals and bring them to him on the stairs. He's sitting there with one leg crossed over his knee, rubbing his temple, just avidly. Now, I don't suppose you know everything about what's going on, but me and you about to have a chat, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Bronwyn, as she's like cuffing, she's got her phone stuck between her ear and her shoulder, and she's calling the local FBI office, and is like, yeah, this is Agent Bedivere. We've got some people to haul in. We need a van and some agents stat.
Bring out the paddy wagon.
You're right.
So, with the remaining pals thoroughly cowed, all of the blood brothers unconscious or otherwise incapacitated, and the Oni who have collapsed upon the floor and are beginning to just kind of sublimate into mist, you guys find yourselves in the middle of ruined is a bit of a stretch, but certainly worse for wear Mausoleum Musical, where we will pick up next time as you investigate the scene on It Takes One to Hunt One.
Very nice.
Thank you for listening to It Takes One to Hunt One, presented by Power Level 4 Podcast. It Takes One to Hunt One stars
Murdoc Addams as Victor Valentine.
Mary Jasken as Bronwyn Bedivere.
Lynn Brewer as Sandra O'Hara.
And Brandon Brewer as everyone and everything else.
production, editing, and sound design by Jared Olson. A special thanks to Green Ronin Publishing, the creators of the game system Mutants and Masterminds, and the World of Freedom setting which we use in our show. And most importantly, thank you to our patrons on Patreon. Patrons get access to exclusive bonus content and help make what we do here possible. If you would like to become a patron, join us at patreon.com/powerlevel4podcast. We'll see you there.